in Nigeria. I've been a member of NSPPD since 2020, 2021. Over time, I was praying on the altar, and Roy gave me a job with an international investment organization. And, high risk. When I resumed this particular portfolio, the devil wanted to struck. On the very day, I had an appointment with a client to actually put him through some things, and the driver took me to that very place. So as soon as I got to that very place, after a while, the driver walked up to me where I was discussing with the client and said, someone has the key to his house and the person is traveling, that he needs to pick it up. And the policy then is that on no account can he leave me where I am and drive out without me joining him to go anywhere. So I told him I cannot leave this place at this point. You have to ask the person to wait. But then the person keep on pressing on him, and he had to drive the car to meet the person. But then ordinarily I would have also taken permission from the client. I had a voice in the spirit saying, don't go anywhere. I didn't know what was happening. But then immediately he left. 15 minutes later, they came back and said a trailer almost crushed the car, starting from the part where I used to stay. He narrowly find a way to come out of the car, that I should come and see the car. Even the client I came to see became worried. So in that period, I couldn't do anything rather than to be praying in the spirit, because it's only me that knew what has happened. So as if that was not enough, when we reported back to the office, the company said that the management has looked at what has happened, and they said that both you and the driver should proceed on a suspension without pay. Then I asked, why should I proceed on suspension without pay for doing my job? So, and nobody could answer me. At that point, the Spirit of the Lord said, this is not a physical battle. You know how you came here? The devil never expected it to come. So you have to do what you know how best to do. So I have to go down on my knees and begin to pray. The next morning, I was eager. If there's a way to fast track 7 a.m. fire prayer, I was calling it forth to come. So that morning, immediately on that 7 a.m. fire prayer, Papa came on board, and in some about 30 minutes or thereabout, he began to speak. In the next 3 hours from now,
in another 3 hours, in what will shock you, let there be an evidence.
So I hold that as my word. The letter already said that you should not go to office. You should not come around. Make available the money, the logistics that will be used to repair it, you and the driver, and that is all. So immediately that word of knowledge came, prophecy came from Papa. I quickly dressed up that morning. I went to the office. I had to clock in the device where we used to clock in. I walked straight to my supervisor. She said that she's about to write to the chairman that you cannot take away one of her best hands. So I told him that the fight is not about the mail. You don't need to write any mail. That the authority who brought me here has spoken that it will be reversed in the next 3 hours. And that is what I believe. So he said, so what are you going to do right now? I said, I've already resumed. But what will happen is that possibly I may run without a driver for today. So I'm going out there to do my duties. We will see later in the evening when I come back. So I left. Well, I said, okay, let me start with some persons I was following up around the office. So I was there. After a while, I looked at my time. After 9 to 10, just few minutes to 10, people of God, a Roy showed up. The call came from the head office, from the same people that signed the letter. And they said that management has mandated you to resume with the immediate effect. And all the things written in that letter is hereby reversed. So as I was trying to deal with that, my boss, possibly they have called her she called me and said, please, wherever you are, I want to see you. You didn't tell me you are carrying this kind of grace. I said, yes, you should know, because when I came, I need to introduce who brought me there. I introduced the Roy, and we begin to pray. So, but what I noticed is that there is something wrong in the atmosphere, which I walked in. But because of where I'm coming from, nothing is too big for a Roy to do. So that thing came to fight, but my God showed up. And Roy said it will not happen. And as he declared it through Pastor Jerry, so did it happen. It was not up to 3 hours. He said within 3 hours. And the Roy cannot be late. So immediately it came, and I resumed. Praise Master Jesus. God is here. God is here. Let me say something, Papa. You know, some of the things you say, you know, some people used to take it for granted. For any word that proceeds from your mouth is coming from God. And people of God, with all sense of sincerity and humility, immediately is 7. Even the speaking in tongues, all of them comes from the Lord. With all apologies, if you see him, you are not doing good to yourself. It's God speaking through him. God is in NSPPD. This is a new season, and it has begun. Papa, I want to tell you, thank you, sir. Thank you, because you are raising a generational army. This is part 1 of this testimony. The part 2 and part 3 and part 4 is marvelous. For want of time, I want to stop now. Glory be to God. In Jesus' name.
I love